Hello YouTube! Welcome back to Attack of the B Team. Now unfortunately I had a bit of an error with my recording software and I just lost the last 15 minutes of recording, so I'd actually done quite a bit. So I'm going to have to give you sort of an overview of what I've done off camera, as it were. First things first, I built myself a cobblestone generator. Yes, both lava and water function normally while in space, even though there actually isn't any air to breathe, and you can't find any water normally forming in space. I'm curious if it functions the same way on the moon. I'll have to see once I get there. But what I have here is a basic cobblestone generator. I've got a source block here, one drop down, and I've got a source block of lava here, 2 blocks over, and I've got the block breaker from our basement back in from the overworld. I brought it with me, attached to a chest, which is generating quite a bit of cobblestone. Now back over here, I brought with me a redstone furnace, which is smelting up the cobblestone into stone, which I am then turning into space stone bricks. And I'm going to use this thing to prettify this area here. Another thing over here, I did change the oxygen setup a little bit, and I'm not pleased at all with this power situation. I mean, I'm going to complain about it a lot. I know I am. But the latest problem about the power situation is that a collector and a compressor are basically overdrawing power from 2 solar panels. So I do not like that. I don't like that one bit. This thing is getting a little bit of backup, but barely anything. This is untenable. So I need to get, when I get a chance, at least 2 more solar panels to sort of beef up our oxygen producing system. However, one very important thing to note, this is the beginning of the correct way, sort of, to do an oxygen collector. This thing, I drastically underestimated the power of the oxygen collector. This thing actually draws in oxygen from leaves within an 11 block cube. For reference, this building here is a 7 block cube. That is enormous. So it's 5 up, 5 down, 5 on all sides. That's a lot. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of space, and I'm just now producing more stone bricks, so I need to expand my orchard because I need to get a lot more leaves. One other cool little note here. This space actually does have biomes. So I was wondering why the leaves were 2 different colors here, because this is an ocean biome, but this is a tundra biome. So I'm actually kind of curious if later on we might actually get snow. It's unlikely, I think, but I'm kind of curious if that part of the biome is still extant. Oh, and these are 2 tanks I brought with me back from Overworld. I figured I'd need them, and I was definitely right. One thing I did also bring with me, which I'm kind of glad I did not need, was actually a igneous extruder. I didn't think this block breaker was going to function, so I brought that with me in case I needed it, but I didn't. So at the moment, I've got this redstone furnace running off a hardened energy cell. It's barely taking any power at all from this thing. It'll last for a long time. I can get a full run out of this thing, and I'll be very happy when I do. So the difficulty right now is this airframe. So let me give you a recap of my thought processes. This is going to be dangerous. It looks like a face from up there, like a skeleton face. I kind of like it. Okay. This is Space Station Bravo with the remember the flag up here, of the B team flag. Here's the problem. I don't have a lot of space to work with. This way is my power station. That way is my orchard. This way is kind of my launch pad area. So, and this was supposed to be the launch pad area itself. That's why the power chest underneath all this lava. Don't worry, the power chest is safe. I'm pretty sure. It was supposed to be here, and you launch it back to wherever you want to go. However, I also want to do a lot of science in this space station. I do actual space science, astrophysics, if at all possible. The problem is I don't have a lot of space. So what I want to do is expand this space station. I want to expand it this way. To, I guess, it'd be the west, sort of. It's hard to tell the direction. I'm still going to call it west because it's west of my mini map. So I want to take this, knock it out, maybe about 20 or 30 blocks. So I'm actually going to have to move this airlock frame. Why? Because I want to move it here and then put a second one here when I get a chance. I want to make an airlock here so that once I get this oxygen setup working, I get a sealer in here at this point, so this thing is continuously filled with oxygen. So some of the experiments I want to run require a continuous supply, a continuously oxygenated environment. So that's on my to-do list at the moment, but I can't do it right now. Okay, this thing is full, and that one is also full. So let me switch out my tanks. This is not ideal, but I'm definitely recommending you bring bring a spare pair of tanks. So helpful. Okay, so right now this thing is okay. Right now it's getting power, using power. This is gaining a little bit of energy, but it's very, very tiny, and I don't like that. I want this thing full so that when night falls, this system will continue to work. But it's not. Right now, it's above head, so this is the most efficient time for power generation, and right now it is at 9 kilowatts. So that is 18 total. This requires 4. This requires 4. So this draws 8. So this thing should be banking 10 kilowatts per second, or per tick or whatever. So it's doing approximately that, but it's very, very kilo. Oh no, it's kilojoules. So it's actually not equivalent. Huh. Wonder what the wattage out throughput is. Oh, sorry. Electrical engineering was not my major in college. Trust me. Oh, another thing is I had the idea that I might want to run an item duct from there to there, but this is not a very tenable situation because eventually I want to have this thing be the airlock, so I'm actually going to move this cobblestone generator once I get a chance. Okay, so that's a recap of what I did for the last couple minutes. Now, next thing I want to do is move this airlock frame, and I have to do this very carefully because I don't want this stuff exploding out into space. The trouble I'm having right now is this. I can't control, for some reason, this GUI. It's locked somehow. I don't think I can even. Yeah, I can't make changes. I don't know why. I can still functions, but for some reason, it's not working. So I'm gonna have to do this the hard way. I have to bridge out over here, then make a little more like a little patio, as it were, and then knock it out. So I'm gonna do that and be right back. Okay, so this should work now. So I think that all I have to do, or I need to do, is take out these frames. Let's go with this one first. It's probably the safest to remove. Okay, so that should disable the whole system. And this thing is still, the settings are still set, so I guess I have to break it in order to reset it. It's kind of messed up, but I guess that makes sense. So now the tricky part is going to be the one on top, so I'll do that one first. Okay, so let me get it. I think the safest way to harvest blocks like this in space is to do it from directly above. Got it? And this is definitely not the safest way to do it, but it's all I got at the. Okay, so that one broke inside. That one broke there. Cool. Oh, and I think I have at least one spare tin decoration block. Do I have one spare? No, I think that was one that I lost. Shoot. Okay. So I'll have to replace it with stone brick. This thing is, as my science teacher used to say, this is good enough for government work. Next thing, I'm going to remove this glass pane. And this whole area is actually, wait, I can do that. Cool. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm slowly starting to be more confident in moving around in space, but it's not the most natural position for me to be in. So let's just remove these and that. And this is coming out too, as is that, and that one. Cool, so now I definitely have some spare. I was running out on space. Well, one other thing I want to do in this module here is to make it into a storage area. That's gonna be useful. Cool. I shouldn't have done that. Oh yeah, I guess I could. So now I now have two sets of full tanks. I'm very pleased about that. So you see, okay, so now it's nighttime. This thing is dead. This thing used all its power, has nothing remaining. So this is not good. This is definitely not good. This power system is starving, and I don't know how to feed it at the moment. So we'll have to work on that when we get around to it. I can also move this block here. And this is going to be built up here. I do have a little bit of glass. And normally I would be more efficient and I would use glass panes, but I kind of like the idea of using glass blocks. I just think it looks a little neater, and even though this thing does have glass panes in here, I kind of like I like the effect that gives. Come to think of it. Okay, put some more cobble in there. Yeah, that block breaker is definitely gonna be pretty heavy when the time comes. Gonna get a lot in there, but it shouldn't fill up. Even if it does fill up the whole thing, it's just gonna spout it into space, and you know there's a lot of space in space. Let's see. Take the stone, make some more. All right, okay, I got a stack and a half. Excellent. So I'm gonna build out this section here and put in some glass for decoration, and be right back. Now that's what I like to see. So I think we're actually in pretty good shape here. So here's my problem. Before, I thought this thing didn't have enough power, and I was right. It doesn't have enough power because it needs a full day cycle of non-use in order to store up a full charge in its ordinary storage module. So this thing right now is running off of real energy. I don't know what would happen if I let it run all night. Well, I don't know, but if I let it fill up two full compressors overnight, it might take a good portion of the battery. But one full night was enough to fully charge this energy module. I'm very pleased about that. So this thing is putting oxygen into here. This thing is drawing in only 60 per second, which, as we know from before, is not nearly enough. So I have to put a lot more leaves around this thing when I get a chance. That's going to be pretty soon. So how do you like my new digs? So I put a bunch of glass blocks along here. This is basically paralleling my my overall quad style base, and I'm going to end it right here. I think this is probably far enough for the moment, and I may in the future expand it past this point, but this should be fine to do most of the experiments that I want to do, and there are quite a few of them. So what I did over here is I made a little bit of a pathway so I can get over this area. I want to eventually move this cobblestone generator somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. I may have it be, I don't know, I think I might extend this platform maybe a little more and put it over there near where the launch pad's going to be. Haven't quite decided at the moment, but that's going to be in the future. Right now, I'm still expanding this orchard here so I can get a little more space in and get down to planting some more trees, which I can actually do right now, come to think of it. Let's do this. How's that thing coming? Cool. So I'll switch out my tank. And so, okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So that ought to do it. So basically, from here to about here is where I'm going to have my block O leaves. Now I know over time this oxygen collector will decay the leaf blocks, and I think 7 is actually the maximum amount of space you can have between a leaf block and a wood block, which is what we have right above this collector. This block here is actually an oak block. That's what's keeping this stuff from decaying, if you were curious. So I'm going to take another oak sapling and make myself another tree. Got that going, and I'm gonna need a lot more stonework. Oh, nice falling. This thing is actually using up more power than I thought it was. Right now it's down to half. Then again, I haven't been running it non-stop for most of this time, so it's going to a good use. But I'm almost done. I must say I'm almost done with the this phase of construction, so to speak. So I'm not sure how much more I'm actually going to need need to make more stone bricks. Let's just, yeah, I was going to put a window there, but if I'm going to expand in the future, there's not really a point in making the glass one or brick it later. So the lighting is in pretty good shape. I put a glowstone block there. It's a little dark here. I could actually use another one in there. Yep, I'm going to do that. I'll make 2 more glowstone blocks. I only brought half a stack with me, but that should be enough for my purposes at the moment. Let's head upstairs and do a little more remodeling. Put that there. And let's do it right near the edge, shall we? So that's the input, so let's put it here. Okay, so 1 there. Ought to do it, and 1 there. Excellent. I played around with the idea of using Crayfish's furniture mod, and I may end up doing that later on, but for now I'm going to use plain old-fashioned glowstone because it's effective. For a while I thought about using redstone lamps, but again I have to mess around with torches and stuff. The glowstone is just, it just works, so I'm going to use it at the moment. Alright, so this looks in pretty good shape. This I can actually, well, that's supposed to be glass, so seal this in. This is all set. This is not sealed yet. That actually rhymes. Oh, okay, interesting. So that's how much power this thing used. So tank is full. So right now this has no draw on it. Do you see what I saw? Wait a minute, hang on a sec. So if I put this in, oh wow. Okay, that's a flaw. Okay, that is definitely a flaw. If the tank is still in it, this thing is still drawing energy out. That is messed up. It's only a little bit of a draw, but still, that's messed up. That's probably what's happening with most of these modules. I had full energy, full tanks, I was just using them up. And this thing is still being used, but that's to be expected. So at the moment, this is losing power. It's losing power faster than it would be if I was just running the collector as opposed to the collector and the compressor, but it's kind of the way it is, unfortunately. I still am going to need those solar panels, extra solar panels, just as a backup. Ah well, the joys of living in space. Okay, so I'm going to expand my orchard here out a bit, and I'm going to be right back. Hey B-dubs, check this out. 18% gravity tree work. Okay, now I'm actually running into a problem I did not foresee. My shears are about to run out, and I did not bring any iron with me into space. I didn't think I need it. I mean, I brought... Oh wait, can I make... No, I don't think I can make... Hang on a sec. I can make regular shears and invar, which I did not bring any invar. The only thing else I have is peridot. That's not going to be very helpful, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I need the axe more than anything, and it turns out I need shears. So this thing's about to run out, and that's it. But this is kind of cool. I can actually jump up to the top of the tree and jump even farther. But unfortunately, I have one stack of leaves left. So I now have to... Okay, so this is the middle, I know that. So I can go out quite a bit here. And let's mark this out. Okay, so this is the base of an 11 block cube. You notice I had to expand the stone brick foundation in order to accommodate this safely. So this is quite a bit here. This is all that I was able to do with those shears that I went away. So I'll be able to expand more once I head back to Overworld and get some more iron. Of all the things I needed of iron, I did not think I would need more of it. But, live and learn, and unfortunately this is not our only trip into space. This is only the first one. And our next time is going to be a little more fun than this. We still got some more stuff to do, and see what else we can do in the time I have remaining. Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of science here, and I'm kind of curious if this works. I don't know. That's the nature of scientific inquiry, is to say, oh, does this thing work? And then find out if it does or not. So what I want to do first is a couple of... right now we're in a vacuum environment, so I want to see if this makes a difference. So I have with me a number of things, including nether wart, and I also have 2 things of soul sand. So I want to find out if this stuff can grow in space. Okay, so I can plant. That's one thing. That's a start. So I'll see. This is Minecraft, so it's going to show me in the Wyla how far along it goes. If it doesn't grow, we might need an oxygen. We'll find out soon enough. Other thing I wanted to try, because we do have dirt, is, let's see if I can. I'll do it here. So let's see if this works. I brought a couple things, other things with me. I did not, however, bring a hoe. So let me go over here in my crafting station, and I actually have to make... Do I have any cobblestone on me? Yeah. I'm using space cobblestone and space wood to make a space hoe. Well, it's a stone hoe, but it's a space hoe, close enough. All right. That's 4, so let's go with this. Give me one of my buckets. I want to see basically if wheat can grow in space. So where's, oh, I put it in my inventory. Put that down, get a bucket of water. Put that in here. Till the soil. And let's see. Okay, so far, no growth on the nether wart and no growth on the wheat, but it's still pretty early, so it's hard to tell. All right, what else did I bring with me? Oh, sugarcane. I want to see if I can make some tang in space. Let's put it here, here, and here. And I want to find out if these things grow. It should be enough light, but at the moment we got no growth. We'll find out. And I suspect these need oxygen in order to grow. I think that's how they function. But we'll learn. This is what nature of science is all about. I didn't bring any potatoes with me. I probably should have, but I didn't. Ah, well. Okay, so I'm out of time for this episode. And we got a lot done in our skyblock in space. Very pleased about that. The power situation is touch and go, really. I still can't believe what I'm running low on most is iron at the moment. So we'll see how things go. So this has been Kankidia for Attack of the B Team. And I'll see you all next time.